Welcome to Webomaniacs World of Wrestling. Let's get into it. And Webomaniacs World of Wrestling.
Get caught up in the web every Thursday and Saturday here in Webomaniacs World of Wrestling.
You're supposed to meet me out front. It's
and I'm here at your doorstep with the World Heavyweight Championship.
wow, that's strong, brother. He's got Hulkamania wristbands on.
Sign on the dotted line.
I will, brother.
And surrender the title to me. Whoa! Whoa!
Wow.
What?
Out of your mouth. We're gonna start out on the right foot. I got something that'll keep you going all day long, Daddy. Don't worry about a thing, brother. This is the eye of the Hulkster, man. You gotta get your head right.
Paul, no.
This is the only way to go.
This new merger and what it's done. Are we looking at a bigger, better WWE? Or have we seen the last of what's known as the territories? Because WWE, at one time, Worldwide Wrestling Federation, WWWF, was part of the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance. Now, as I talked about in a post listing my 3 greatest wrestlers, you can't just pick just one. You have to, for all intents and purposes, you have to zero in on the organizations that have already come and gone. With that being said, those organizations, as we know, are the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. That's the one that Bruno Sammartino mastered in. That's why he gets my top pick as being the best or greatest of all of his time in the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. Continuing, as it said in the post, when WWWF emerged into what was then known as the golden era of WWF, World Wrestling Federation. And the top guy there, as everyone knows, who brought the entertainment aspect that we have now and forever, no pun intended, but is in fact Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan gets the dupe for actually being the greatest of all the time of the WWF. Because when WWF changed to WWE after they had their Get the F Out campaign, WWE and all those superstars, a lot of great names, a lot of great talent, could they have been used elsewhere? You betcha. But they chose to stay with what was running as top. And that, of course, was what would soon, then, now, and forever, together, be the WWE. And since this merger has taken place, you know, let's talk a little bit about the fact of who's going to be let go. There's already speculation and dirt sheets out there galore who think certain ones are already gone. One particular name that is gone is, in fact, Elias. I guess nobody can now walk with Elias at all, because who knows what he's going to do. We'll have to stay tuned to see that. And in staying tuned, are you going to stay tuned to WWE? Are you going to go with the evolution of what became with what we know and supposedly enjoy, but love to complain to the management that we're not getting with what we want? And in that, I just want to know who's all WWE and who's all in for AEW. I, for one, if I keep seeing more talent not being utilized, and I want to talk about the type of talent that's out there, there's guys out there like Best Friends in AEW, to name some. There's some also in WWE. The Street Profits don't necessarily get the recognition that they deserve or something, and trying to just, if I had to sit in one of their meetings for creative and somebody told me, well, let's just turn it back a page and go back and make them the new Hurt Business, that's when I'd want to hurt somebody, if you know what I'm saying. And I just don't feel they're getting the rightful shots that they deserve. When you have guys that are actually running the company, like the Young Bucks, the Elite for AEW, and they give themselves title matches, is it actually something that you'd expect? You're like, well, I'm going to be the boss, but I don't want the title. Or I'm going to be the boss, and I'm going to have the biggest ego, bigger than Vince McMahon ever did, by making myself champion. That's what the Bucks are doing, but they're doing it in about a way that fits within the script of the program of earning your way and paying your dues. And in this fan's opinion, the Young Bucks have paid their dues, even though they're running the show in aspect of management. And Tony Khan, of course, has final say and everything. But it won't take long to drum up ideas. And then now all of a sudden you're seeing guys like Hangman, Adam Page, team back up with the Elite after Swerve Strickland all but called him out. A storyline was developing right there or something, and Swerve is another one, I'll say, that's getting underutilized for his potential, and they're wasting his time. He needs to do something, and he needs to step up. One thing would be to get rid of that prince that reigns alongside him there. But is if everyone here is tuning in to my little bit as I just talk about any and all aspects, I'd like to know what you'd like me to talk about. And you can message me on Messenger since this is directly into the hotspot, you can message me directly on Messenger, and let's talk about what you want to talk about. And if I decide to, and I go live and do a live presentation of this, that would be kind of cool to do too. Then I could have guests come in and we actually do heartfelt talk on the wrestling, and not really like get off beat or something. You know, if you're going to be in front of your cameras, be in front like I am, be all in for what you're actually doing and for what you're actually saying. You know, have some heart for it, you know, and everything. With that said, I do know that certain things are coming up, like the Royal Rumble. Tickets are already, believe it or not, being sold, and last I heard was $235 to go to the Royal Rumble out there in Tampa Bay. It's always been one of my faves, but in getting back to talking about this merger, what are those top 4 pay-per-views that Vince McMahon gave us before we have all that we have now? Because the only ones that this fan truly recognizes and gets geared in for is the top 4. WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and Royal Rumble. Those are your 4. In between now, they stick you with everything under the sun here, including matches across country, matches in different countries, and, you know, selling out for the almighty dollar and everything. But so let's talk about already established stars like John Cena. He's already done it. You know, he's tied Ric Flair's record. He hasn't broken it yet. I have a theory about that. And I don't mean Austin theory, even though he is a good heel with what he does and everything. And potential wise, this guy's got a lot of talent, a lot that he can offer for or something. But when he gets into the likes of trying to cross hairs with someone like The Rock, he's already established. We saw on SmackDown, actually, last night, we saw, for those of you that watched it, we saw The Rock actually put Theory in his place, and at the same time, a robust return of The Rock. How many has that been now? I mean, that'll be for a different show as to we count how many pop returns we have that we could discuss, and I could go on that one forever. We could talk about the pops of Stone Cold Steve Austin returning, or somebody like you know, just seeing a star cross over from one organization to another. And I don't mean SmackDown onto Raw, you know, like we have with the Usos and everything. But my theory on what is doing with The Rock is Rock is putting himself in good graces of the tribal chief, his cousin, Roman Reigns. And what better way to set up, and since John Cena was on the same exact program that The Rock returned on, who's to say we don't see not Rock versus Cena? We've already seen that too many times. But who's to say that we don't get our chance to see The Rock betray Roman Reigns after all this build-up, all this kayfabe, actual build-up outside of the business, the same way we always had when we wanted to see Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan, and then we finally got it, and then we had enough of it. But when we think of dream matches, and people wanted last year to see The Rock versus Roman Reigns, what better way to set something like that up than to go through elevating with what would have been your best competitor of your time, and that, of course, was the time was for Cena to break Ric Flair's record. Now, some I've talked to have actually believed that they're not going to do it while Ric Flair is still alive. But once you're dead, everything's off the table, respect and everything else, you know. So much for when The Undertaker says, rest in peace. You can actually rest in peace, because you can't. Here it is, Roman Reigns is actually trying to surpass both Hulk Hogan and Bruno Sammartino's record for holding the championship. But who cares? At this point in the society that we've evolved in, who's really going to care whether or not he does that? Whether he breaks Hulk's. I mean, we've got records being broken for the Intercontinental Championship with Gunther dethroning the Honky Tonk Man. Okay? That's a mighty bitter pill to swallow, too, you know? Considering the fact Honky Tonk Man is still alive. But what are they doing? They're going ahead with it and wanting to erase everything that they hooked us in for all those years ago, 40 plus years ago, and everything. Of course, nothing's going to last forever. We know that. But when Bruno recently passed away, they were already in process with Reigns as champion. And now it just goes to the form of, well, we'll surpass that one too. You know. But like I mentioned with the Young Bucks, Roman isn't doing it by earning and paying his dues. Some might have said Joe already paid his dues when he come out and told us that he was fighting leukemia and that he gave up the belt and had to do that. So when everybody keeps asking who's going to beat Roman Reigns, is it going to be another superstar or is it going to be leukemia? Because let's face it, nobody else has wanted to come close. But the other thing of it is strength in numbers. And who's the one that gave us those numbers? That limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun, that just happened to introduce us to the numbers and the numbers game when he gave us the 4 horsemen. Yeah. Okay. So Flair is my top one that I want to say for WCW. WCW. I was going to say WCW/NWA, but you can't do that because NWA still exists. It's still out there. And we're out here in the hot spot Saturdays and Thursdays, starting as of now. I'm your host, Webomaniac. If you got something you want to talk about, wrestling-wise, hit me up on Messenger. Let's talk about it. We can even have a conversation on video, and that can work out too. Maybe you'll end up on the show. Who knows? Until the next show, I'm Webomaniac, and this is Webomaniacs World of Wrestling.